only, yeah, like toilet paper is our go-to.
I love getting my hair cut, especially when there's a scalp massage involved.
But she would say, your body is a temple and you need to take care of it.
We have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, where he just ate garbage. How long was that? A year?
Do this. I can't do this without Cassie and the kids enabling me to do this.
I find myself encouraging myself, so I'm like, no, you can do this. Don't give up.
We got lots to say.
I love my husband so much and my son. I had a baby. Her name is Isla.
I want to see the baby. I've definitely had multiple drinks on multiple episodes.
Loosen up.
It's a podcast. We're here to have fun, so enjoy yourself.
I believe that we were just commiserating about
Great intro.
the really unsustainable housing market prices, and you had said it's our fourth once in a lifetime recessions, so we're just breaking records. You know what it is? We were just so obsessed with Guinness World Records that we were like, fuck that, we're breaking all plus economic records.
We just seem to be a victim generation, so they're like, yeah, let it suck more.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a trend?
Are we a victim generation?
I don't know. I feel like
it's hard to know.
I don't know. Like later stage millennials, probably for sure, because they blend in with disease, whatever's after it, and they're fucking. I feel like there's sort of between.
They're so sad.
What's the generation above us?
X.
So like, okay, so like low end of Gen X all the way through millennials to the top end of Gen Z.
Yes.
I think, and I think all within there are the chief fucking ringleaders of this victimization mentality. I think that's the age gap.
I agree. And I think a lot of it, you know, I don't want to say we haven't experienced much, but
don't marginalize.
I know. It's one of these things where, you know, we're trying not to make ourselves less. We're trying to make people realize that what we're going through is real also. But the actual physical difficulty, is that Bandit?
That is my dog.
Woo!
I'm just gonna mute myself while you keep talking for a second.
The actual, like, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so the generations before us, I don't want to say actually went through a lot, but like, I think our parents were in that sweet spot where capitalism was just in that right time, perfect time, some say. And their parents were the ones that fucking had it hard. They grew up in the fucking Great Depression. They had literally nothing. They had to stand in line for bread because that's all they were going to eat that week. One loaf of bread. Like, the fuck? And then they came out of that. So they saw literally from like ground zero and then growth.
Mm-hmm.
And
we started from the bottom. Now we here.
Yeah. Kind of thing. And it's interesting because, yeah, our parents, like the boomers, they saw some bad stuff. Like there was still like Vietnam War, Korea, things like that. I don't think Canada was part of Korea. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, we sent people to Korea.
We sent, okay. And like other I don't want to say fairly substantial wars, but like nothing like World War II. You know what I mean?
No.
And nothing that like later caused the collapse of the world as we know it, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And so that being said, they also kind of glided through those glory days of capitalism. They were just like, woo. And now
it was like right when capitalism was so like it was booming. It was great. And it wasn't considered evil yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were just like, capitalism, woo!
Look at this cool thing.
Yeah, we're all doing it. It's great. And then now we're what they call late stage capitalism. And I feel like Gen X went through like the rebellious stage, so like the teenage phase of capitalism, where it was like you could get by, you had to get a little dirty to get there maybe, but like it was fun, you
Yeah,
know?
like what's that fucking Gordon Gekko? What was that movie? Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street?
No, I think it was just
No.
called Wall Street.
Wall Street,
And
okay.
then there was the sequel with Shia LaBeouf, Money Never Sleeps or something like that. Anyway,
I have not seen it. Gordon Gecko, is that what you said?
that was the character's name.
Oh, okay.
I think the movie is just called Wall Street, though. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
you keep.
I'm interested in looking this up as well. So all this said, we're in a place where financially things are kind of have gone awry, perhaps. Maybe that's just my perspective. I've been saying this to Jordan a lot. I was like, I think I may be just like very cynical about where we're at in life, and not I don't want to say not allowing myself, or maybe not looking through the lens that allows me to see all the possibilities still left. But I feel like we are kind of like scrounging a little bit for crumbs in a way.
Do you feel, because you talk about the possibilities that are left, so in your mind, are you eliminating
Like
all the
what's going
options that
forward?
are beyond your, but like the
Beyond my
potential you
reach?
see, you see for your future, or are you
Yeah.
saying like in a world that now exists where the possibilities are endless, there are still too many barriers for me to
Oh, I see.
experience what I know could happen?
I guess a bit of both. I feel like we're in the midst of like a reframe,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people who realize that like this isn't sustainable the way that it is right now. So you see Instagram influencers, YouTube accounts, what we're trying to do, podcasting, like just these alternate sources of, maybe not source isn't the right word.
I mean, I think it becomes a source. Like
Yeah.
people share information, and
Yeah.
oftentimes it could be like you say, influencers. Sometimes they just bring your attention to a topic.
Yeah.
And then now you go and do your independent research, but you wouldn't have heard about it. That's just how you came across it initially, right? I think that could be a source.
Yeah, and also just like a different means for which people are trying to like sustain a lifestyle, or a life, and create an income, and maybe even just like you said, access information, share information, things like that. There's like different, it's changed. I
Creating
know
other
somebody
possibilities.
whose daughter recently started college, and the program she's taking is like, I forget the exact title, but it's more or less how to manage your social media, and how to become a it's social media management and something else, but it more or less makes you like a professional,
Like social media
content creator, publisher. And I was like, there is enough information out there about this subject that they've created an entire 2-year program for it.
Fuck, like, we gotta hire someone to do that.
I know that
for free.
For free. I don't want to say it blows my mind. Like I'm so pleased to see things changing, because I think we're at a stage where we must create change, because it is true. I don't think that the traditional, like, go to your 9 to 5, work a career job for 25 years, retire, is the sustainable way of life. And I don't think it has been for a while, but we're only now creating solutions for
That's so cool. We create the change we need to see, which I think is interesting, because in the face of looking at this wall of options that you can't, it's like going to the arcade with no tokens. Look at all these potential prizes I could win. Not going to happen. So instead, you just bring a fucking crowbar and pry open the fucking token bins and steal all the money anyway.
You're like, yeah, shortcut this.
Yeah, bad example, but good point. I think that's really interesting that people are just deciding, because I mean, we say this a lot. Everything is just made up. It's all arbitrary. This 9 to 5 nonsense is just an absolute spirit killer. Like, it saps
and
your
it
will
was
to
made
live.
up too.
Yeah, Henry Ford. It was. I'm pretty sure it was Henry Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this whole 9 to 5 work week was.
Wait,
just
that's a myth. No, wait.
Oh, it's a myth.
Hang on.
Either way, it's stupid.
Okay, so his name does come up in the historical content.
Thank God. Last thing we want to do is say something wrong.
So he implemented the 8-hour, 5-day work week at his Ford Motor Company.
Yeah.
Which was the first company to do so. And it became the norm after World War II in the US. Yeah, and it was because working conditions were brutal. People working 70 plus hours a week. And they probably made like 1 cent an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
just nickels.
So it says he played a pivotal role. I seem to think that this came the origin. Yeah. So during the Industrial Revolution, factories and manufacturing facilities required structured work hours. And I guess he was the first one to like officially implement. So yeah, I don't know if he like invented it, quote unquote, but yeah, he was the first to like make it mainstream. He made it like so he was
fuck.
Sorry.
God, I was gonna say that.
I was gonna say that.
That's so funny. I was telling the story.
The kids on my bus say that all the time.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, they cut each other off all the. I'm so like,
funny.
You're on
I
the
want the
bus
social
for
credit.
30 minutes. Please hold it together.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, random topic. How's your marathon prep coming?
Good. I'm up to a very. It's gonna sound so sad. I'm up to 3 kilometers.
Dope.
Per run. So
love it.
I'm quite pleased with myself. I went out yesterday and I wasn't dying at the end. Like I was exhausted. And my watch tells me my effort level was like at the top end in the red zone.
We're gonna break the dial.
And so I'm quite pleased. But yes, I did 3. And then by the end of this week I'm gonna try 3.5. Just like do that. And I signed up for a quick little 5K at the end of the month.
Nice.
It's for the memorial. It's a memorial run the Peterborough Hospital hosts. And friends of mine are doing it, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to join?" I said, "Yes, please." So signed up.
That's awesome. A little
encouragement.
Encouragement, an easy win.
Yeah, I was feeling a little bit. I don't want to say worried, but I remember I went from like 2 to 2.5, and I think it was just like that particular day. I think I'd eaten too much. I should never run after I eat. And then the wind was blowing toward me. And I was like, I'm never going to do 21 kilometers.
This is going to take forever.
Yeah. But I initially wasn't wearing headphones or listening to music. And I was like, what am I doing?
That's tough.
What am I doing?
Last thing I want to do is be alone with my thoughts while I'm also struggling.
Yeah.
That's double trouble.
Yeah, so I've been putting on podcasts. I used to like need fast-paced music to run. But I'm going for the long haul, you know? So I'm not interested in like breaking land speed records.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just would like to finish the run.
So I love listening to music when I run.
Yep.
And I used to listen to music at a certain BPM to help keep a pace so that whatever.
Yes.
But I love listening to audiobooks or podcasts because I find, especially for
I hadn't thought of that.
The longer distance runs.
Yeah.
It I find it takes me at least 2 kilometers for my body to settle into the run anyway.
Same. Yeah, I've been noticing. Yeah.
But once I'm good, I can kind of just keep that pace for however long I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brain, instead of coming back to how my body's feeling or whatever, I can distract it. Because with the music, it's easy to get pulled out of the music because it's just too repetitive. I'm not paying attention to it as much.
Yeah, it's just like a beat in the background. It can really just disappear.
Yeah, I really enjoy the distraction then of the podcast or the audiobook because I'm focusing on that instead of anything else, and it's really helpful.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, especially if it's like a conversation podcast.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I find myself, like you said, not consumed by my own thoughts and just really thinking about what they're talking about, kind of
What did they
processing.
mean? Did they consider? Yeah, I do. There's a really great podcast I think people would really enjoy. The episodes are usually only around an hour long too, so they're not super long. But it's called Triggernometry.
Oh, I've heard of this. What is it about?
I'll pull up the description. It's these two guys are British. The one guy's dad is from, I think, Uzbekistan. He's like a Russian-born, British-raised kind of guy. So he's got a really interesting family history. And the other guy, I think, is UK, like English only. So they're comedians. Constantine Kassin, Kisin, and Francis Foster create honest conversations with fascinating people. It's essentially what we are aiming to do, kind of thing. Yeah. We're a couple of comedians, but they talk to everyone. They have great guests and great conversation, and they're also super duper informed. They're really knowledgeable about, especially like United Kingdom, European politics. And they speak out about a lot of controversial topics like immigration and transgenderism and stuff like that. And sorry, by speak out, I don't mean they're speaking against, but they're willing to host that conversation in their space and let people share their thoughts. But they ask really, really good questions. They try to enable you to they try to speak on behalf of their audience. So if they know that their audience isn't going to understand something, they'll ask for clarification. If they've been asked a number of questions themselves, they'll ask that question on behalf of their audience, knowing that they're going to want that answer if it hasn't come up, kind of thing. They're really cool. And one thing I really like about what they do, and this is what we should do too, if our audience grows big enough,
adopt it. Yeah.
Is when they have guests on, they ask certain questions to their guests that only their subscribed members get
to hear the answers.
Get to hear the answers for. So that I thought that was a really cool way of providing.
Do you think it's
unique content?
Yeah, paid only content. I feel like is it always the same couple of questions, or is it specific to those guests?
It's specific to the guests, I think.
Okay.
I haven't subscribed, so I don't. I don't.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, they're really funny though, and I can't remember why I brought them up, but
you said Triggernometry. Is that one that you listen to when you're running?
Oh yeah, like that's a great conversation. Like, and when I'm listening to them talk, and because there's it's a great example of a successful podcast with two hosts. And they'll talk to each other, they'll talk to the guests, and they'll have a great conversation. And I find myself in trying to get into their heads so much, like, oh, I wonder what angle they're seeing this from. And anyway, I get really, really distracted by it is, I guess, the ultimate point.
Oh, okay.
Not just listening to what you're saying, but then running. Like overthinking everything too.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to add that to my rotation. Speaking of, so I don't know. I've been like trying to do this thing in life where I like sprinkle around tidbits of joy or like positivity. I was saying to Jordan I don't want to say a while ago, but I was like, when the kids get off the bus, I want to like say positive affirmations to them and just see what happens. And he's just like, okay, let's see. Let's see what and like I shouldn't say he didn't reply like that. He was very much like, what will happen? Like, I think he was a little bit like nervous for me, but then excited for the possibility of it going really well.
Right.
And I don't do it with my high school or middle school students because they cannot get off the bus fast enough. Like,
sorry, I thought you meant Anton and Isla. I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Now I understand his response better.
Yeah. I mean, I say positive affirmations to my children almost annoyingly too often. But yeah, when my grade school kids get off the bus, I try and switch it up every day. So I'll just be like, you're so great, you're such a good friend, you're so awesome, you're so fun, you're gonna have a wonderful day. Like, I try and give them all a little message and like say their name so they know like I'm talking to them. I'm not just like spewing out this. And I also only on a regular basis have 10 of them, so it's I'm not having to create like 25 different positive affirmations every morning. So it's a little bit
getting super
selfish
with some of the kids.
Way.
No, it's not selfish. It just makes sense. So why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah. And like Leo sometimes has like really funky footwear, and I'll be like, you've got the flyest shoes. And Leo's just like, oh, thanks. Like,
he's got to Google what fly means.
Yeah. I realized that I said the word trolling to them, and I was like, that's such a millennial thing to say. Like,
I feel like trolling is pan-generational.
Oh, pan-generational.
I don't know if that's true or not. I just feel like it's been used so often.
I thought it was like niche millennial. But I don't know. Do you play video games with only millennials?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't only play the same video game, so I don't know. I think about like internet trolling and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I see comments and titles that I don't know. Who knows? Trolling. That's interesting.
Put it out in a poll. Is trolling pan-generational?
Is trolling pan-generational or niche millennial? That's a fucking
or niche millennial.
That's such a title.
Have you been?
Did we finish our thought? Sorry about
running
affirmations to your bus kids.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, sweet. What was your next thought? Next
thought. Oh dear. Okay, let's see. There were some things I had left behind. Oh my god, did you watch the Gabby Petito Netflix?
No, I haven't been in a sufficiently like stable enough mood lately
to watch that kind of horror.
To watch it. Yeah, like I've been,
and especially because like you have a daughter, or like I was thinking about Isla growing up, finding herself in a similar situation. It might be worrisome to you and or Cassie if she hasn't seen it yet to watch it, because you like will likely feel the same way. You know, you have these curiosities where you're like, well, I think I'm raising my kids okay. What would cause them to end up in a situation where they're like in a emotionally abusive relationship? Like, how's
that happen?
Yeah. So I mean, we all know the outcome and what happened, but they really like they actually talked to a number of people that, you know, you might not have heard from before. Like, they talked to friends of theirs, her ex-boyfriend, things like that, just to kind of like give you an insider's perspective on hey bandit.
Yes, sir. Our Hello Fresh box was delivered.
Oh yay! Yeah. Well, geez, they deliver it almost immediately. Ours was delivered like an hour ago. So.
Oh man, I wonder if it's the same guy.
He's just like doing the tour de France
of
HelloFresh
from Port Hope to Kingston.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways, still recommend watching it.
Yeah, I
Like,
want
it's
to,
still
and I want to watch it. And I threw on Disney Plus yesterday, and I was flipping through it, and I saw the Ruby Frankie ones on there.
Ruby Frankie. Which one's that?
She was she the one of the Mormon moms or something like that? We talked about her in one of the previous episodes.
Oh,
in passing.
maybe. Yes.
But
Okay.
I was like, fuck, I just don't. I really don't like watching a show basically about child abuse. You know what I mean?
Helped change Utah. Is an American former family vlogger and convicted child abuser who ran the now defunct YouTube channel 8 Passengers. Oh my Lanta. I'm shocked. I haven't heard of her. Okay, this is not who I thought it was. She shared her life as a mom of 6 children with millions. Off screen, she inflicted horrifying child abuse. Why am I whispering?
Because it's terrifying.
What the hell? I need to get off that page.
That's the only possible reason I could imagine ever wanting to have like fucking chips implanted in your brain and like Elon Musk's neural network and all this kind of shit is so that kids don't have to report anything.
Yeah.
Like the brainwaves will just tell people, oh, look, child abuse is taking place. Let's investigate.
Yeah.
And fucking eliminate people. I just think it's the...
And perhaps this is maybe even more twisted. Like disarm the adult.
Like take their arms off of them?
No, like send like a little zap to their brain to be like, get the fuck.
Like give them just like a quick stroke.
Yeah.
A little hey, next one's gonna count.
Yeah. Like how the dog bark collars work, where it's
I love it.
A little gentle zap, and then it's like,
oh, I pissed my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to continue abusing a child when you've pissed your pants.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Yeah. Damn, that's actually really funny, and I shouldn't be laughing, but
that's probably a very dark thing to say. I don't know.
Using an implanted chip to correct abusive behavior is, I think,
sounds futuristic,
hilarious.
Yeah,
it's only because I'm picturing what it would look like in the confines of a safe place, like a movie or a TV show.
Yes,
fucking funny.
Yeah. In fiction, I don't know how it would work in real life, and maybe that's not something we ever have to think about. But
yeah, no, it'd be on something like Criminal Minds, where like Penelope will fucking, oh shit, he's so close, zap him. I've bought you 12 minutes while he comes to and changes his pants because he can't get arrested with piss on his pants.
Yeah. Totally unrelated. So I've been taking my yoga teacher course.
Yeah.
And there is like everything in yoga is written in Sanskrit.
Beautiful language.
Are you being sarcastic? I can't tell.
Yeah, but I've been told it's beautiful language.
It's so beautiful. Shavasana. It's so many things to say. Where do I start?
Do
the language
just
traces back to this guy, and his name
Skirt.
No.
Sanskrrrrt?
Sanskrrrrt? No. His name Panini. You will never forget this.
Panini?
It was a question on one of my quizzes.
And now he's invented this beautiful language. And now he's only known for cheese toasties.
Sandwich. Yeah.
Sandwich. Welcome to the sandwich, bish.
Yeah, so
I'm a sandwich bitch.
I want to say that his name was fucking stolen and used incorrectly, but that might be a ludicrous thing to say. Who knows? But then, anyways, there's also they say that Sanskrit has like healing aspects to it because of how we hear it,
the
like how
frequency
it
of the
sounds,
words.
and how we hear it. So they're like, there's healing properties. It's supposed to be like very magical. And for thousands of years, Sanskrit was passed down only verbally, and it's still like the most accurate to its original form.
Right. That's interesting.
As opposed to other languages that inevitably got passed down only verbally and then dispersed into different sub-languages and changed and stuff like that. This Sanskrit is still like very much.
What country is Sanskrit from?
India, I believe.
It's Indo-Aryan.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Like Asia.
Rose in South Asia. Language of Hinduism.
Vedic Sanskrit.
I mean, I just think it's interesting that the people who mastered sex via the Kama Sutra,
right,
also had a language that relied on people listening really, really well to what people were saying.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there's some overlap there about people
like,
listening really, really well if they've had really, really good sex.
Is it like a never-ending loop type of thing?
Yeah. Like which came first, the listening good or the good sex? Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened after?
How's it end?
The writing? Yeah. Like who?
Yeah, someone wrote it down.
Somebody had to get off the loop to start writing about it, and then
it ruined it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Carl.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, now all we have to do is read about it.
Yeah. This thing we used to know.
Sorry, I feel like I derailed part of the conversation there.
No, that's more or less it.
You had a lot of things to say about Sanskrit, though, you said.
So it's beautifully written. Like, to look at it, it looks very pretty.
Okay.
Beautiful language. And then obviously all of the yoga terms, the asanas, which are the movements of yoga. Because yoga, believe it or not, is like this whole big tree. And the movements in a yoga class are only part of it. But they obviously all have Sanskrit names. So I've been like learning them. And it is so fascinating to read. It's going to sound so fucking
bougie. I don't know.
No, like I'm such a like basic white bitch, but like you see like SVA and there's no V sound. It's like sha.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's not even probably an accurate example, but there's just a lot of
like
letter formations
stuff.
Yeah, that is different to what I already know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I found that very interesting so far as well. But yeah, I spent like an hour yesterday just like on my oh my god, what do you call it, my module, just like listening to these words. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, Sanskrit, cool. Yeah.
Now, from a level of personal interest and as an aspiring yoga teacher, yoga,
yogi, yeah,
yoges.
I think it's just yogi.
Okay, yogi.
It's gender neutral.
Yogu. Do you, when you're learning the name of the asanas, are you learning about what the name means and how it applies to the specific movement and how they're like, is that a part of what this is?
Yes, yeah. I'm that was earlier on in my course, but yes, they did go over kind of the root of the word and why it means like why this applies to this movement. So Trikonasana is triangle pose, and I think TRI in many languages like Latin also means 3. So when you're in triangle pose, you're like making 3 points with your body. So Trikonasana is like a good example of that. But yeah, some of them you kind of like get a hang of some of the terminology, and it's like repetitive because
Right.
some of the movements are standing. So the standing movements will all have like the same word at the end for standing, more or less.
Which is
oh gosh,
come on.
I know I have to quiz myself.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot. So
no, that's okay.
do you
they have flashcards that I printed, and I'm like gonna get the kids to quiz me on it.
You should learn the Sanskrit word for flashcards.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah. Do your sanas. Do you just sort of memorize the name with the movement, or do you understand the name as it applies to the movement when you learn this kind of stuff?
I think the goal is ultimately to do both. To just like have it be innately part of the movement. Be like, this is this.
Yeah.
And it's way easier to learn the common name, so like English names given to it. But if I ever intend to teach like advanced classes and things like that, I should know the Sanskrit term for all of the poses. Because if a more advanced student wants me to name that movement, they're going to want to hear it.
Well, and if you're going to be an expert
language.
in, like, if you're going to ultimately be correcting people performing the movements.
Yeah, I want to know what I'm talking about.
It almost seems irrelevant. Like, the two don't equate. I can teach you how to perfect the movement without knowing the original name. Those two things can be true, but it goes a long way to sell your expertise to be able to call back something like the original or the intended name for it.
Yeah, the given name, if you will.
The given name, its correct name.
Which for whatever reason just reminded me of like how Asian people
Say that again.
Like if Asian people move from an Asian country to, we'll say Canada, North America, they often will give themselves like an
anglicized name
because their names are more difficult for us to pronounce correctly. And so anyways, it just made me think of that for whatever reason.
I'm pretty sure Mike Thomas has one of those names. What?
Oh, did I disconnect? No? Hello? Oh no. This may have...
That was the funniest.
This perhaps has never happened. Did you disconnect?
Did you?
No.
Yeah, I disconnected.
Oh, shocking.
What's the timestamp say above for you?
37.
Oh, interesting. Okay, mine started over. So that's good. That's cool, because that means we should have an uninterrupted episode. When you drop
there you go.
Yeah. But my image swapped sides. I thought it was really funny that I just made fun of Mike Thomas, and then my internet cut out on me.
Yeah, it was like
he was listening. Fuck you. Yeah. So Mike doesn't have an anglicized name. He is Michael by birth.
By birth. Just so we're not spreading misinformation.
Yeah, I do that a lot for just some of the core listeners. That's my reward to you guys.
Whenever somebody says reward, I picture
Christoph Waltz from
Yes. It's like a reward.
Inglourious Bastards. Is it Inglourious Bastards?
Yes.
And that's the way I chose to say it.
Oh, okay.
It's like a reward. The beer or whatever. Yeah. That's such a... I like that one. It's like a reward.
That soundbite became very popular on TikTok for a while.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Man, there's some really good soundbites on TikTok. I really like the whose horse is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it's used in a variety of different ways. Yeah.
Yeah. People use it in very fun ways. I like didn't intentionally do this. I just like I hadn't been on TikTok for so long. And I've been on like 3 or 4 times in the last week. I was like, I think I'm overdosing, guys. Like
This is
it's
too
so
much.
Yeah. It really kind of I don't know. I guess I'm noticing more the amount of consumption that I've been doing. After like,
do you think
and
doing
it was
alcohol is cool?
doing alcohol. Yeah, I just life gets busy sometimes, and then I don't want to say the less important things, but the non-essentials kind of fall to the side, and then you look up because you have 20 minutes of free time one day, and you're like, oh, what do I do with this? And then yeah, go on TikTok, right? So I was like, this is a nice refresher. I feel like I need to catch up on all of this. Like, so
get
much
cozy with the
funny
trends again.
content. Yeah, and like, I mean, there's so many like podcast clips that like you send me, Cassie, Tanya, Steph, like everybody sends, and I just feel like fuck, I'm missing out on this.
It's
why
definitely
is life so busy?
A problem. People like us should not be on social media at all. That's why we need a social media manager for this page.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to deal with it and then expose ourselves to the delicious dopamine taps of social media.
It's true. Dopamine's a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like hardlining. It's like an IV. Plug it in and then just take me away for hours. But it's not good. True. It's not a good thing.
No, we should get our dopamine from other healthy sources. So they say.
Yeah, my go-to is food.
Food, okay.
Easy, quick fix.
Quick hit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's never good food.
Chocolate, chips. Yeah. Anson is obsessed with the mini M&Ms in the tube.
Yeah.
You said that like you knew exactly how he feels.
Because Olivia loves shit that comes in tubes. I don't know
is
why.
That what it is? It's the packaging?
I'm sure it's the packaging.
Okay, because you know what? Now that you say it, Kinder Surprise eggs are a big hit, actually. For that same reason, because they come in a funky package. But yeah, my God, this kid is obsessed. I've had a tube in my room, like on my dresser, for like a year. And like every once in a while, I'll just take a handful out and have some and then put it back. And it's still there. And he's like, you haven't eaten that chocolate yet? Like, he's like,
how do you have such self-control?
And I'm like, I mean, he's not supposed to. I guess he's 6. But like, I was like, you don't have to eat it all at once. Like, what if I want some later? He's like, the concept of wanting some later. Like, I haven't thought about future Anson before.
Man, the poor guy. Yeah. I know the life he's staring down right now, and it's not good. Because I see everything. Like the serving size is the package it comes in.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, so chocolate bar is
a large chocolate
serving.
Bar. Like, serving, yeah. They're like 2 squares. Yeah, no.
You remember the was it the Loblaws or whatever in Carlton Place? And
when they had that,
they ordered 1 billion chocolate bars. Those big ones. They were like 25 cents each.
They had a whole skid. Yeah.
Oh man, that was a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
It was 1 chocolate bar. I would sit down and I'm like, I'll put it away. 8 more fucking cubes of it later.
Yeah. It was coconut. Coconut? Wasn't it?
Yeah. There was coconut in it.
Yeah.
My mouse just died. We're gonna get some batteries. I'll be right back. Take it away, Ern.
Very good. Yeah, so the backstory on that was the independent near where we lived, as Colin described, had placed accidentally an order of 1 skid of chocolate bars, I think, instead of just like 1 unit, but I guess the unit was a skid. So they had to move that quickly. And we were the happy recipients of like God, we had to have bought 30 chocolate bars. And I think we ate them like we were kings, you know, because when you have economized on chocolate like that, that's just the life, you know. Not so good for the waistline, I will say, but pretty yummy. Indeed.
Indubitably.
How many of those bars do you think you bought?
Oh, I think we got a whole box.
I was saying I think we bought 30 or something.
It was
like Jordan will remember the exact unit.
And I'm not even ashamed.
But
I'm not even ashamed.
Same.
It was such a good deal. That was a once in a lifetime fucking opposite of a recession.
Yeah.
Didn't make
what
up.
What is the opposite of a recession?
Yeah, a progression.
Progression? I like that.
That sounds so stupid, though.
Opposite of a recession. A boom or an upturn?
Oh yeah, it was definitely an upturn for sure.
Growth, development,
and then we finished the chocolate bars and back to recession.
Totally.
Because life became depressing again.
Totally. Okay, so this question was posed at a recent birthday party I was at. Perhaps you can enlighten us. Why are axolotls so popular?
Wow, what a good question.
Have you noticed this?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, they are popular.
I'm going to actually look this up. Why are axolotl?
So, axolotl's
so popular.
A salamander, right? It's a salamander with the fucking 6 little
It looks like a salamander.
Things.
Yeah.
Or it's a newt, maybe?
A type of salamander are known for their distinctive features, including their permanent smile.
Maybe
and
that's
feathery
why.
Gills.
Because they're always doing the
contribute to their charm and appeal.
My smile doesn't go up. My mouth just goes higher and wider.
Their appearance in popular culture, including the video game Minecraft.
Oh, maybe that's why.
So they were added in 2021 to Minecraft to boost their visibility and popularity, especially among younger audiences, because their popularity is rising. The fact that axolotls are critically endangered in the wild had also raised awareness about their conservation needs, particularly in their native habitat of Mexico.
Interesting. Mexican salamanders.
Mexican salamanders. Of course, that's why they're smiling. Those cuties.
Yeah, I don't know. I always laugh at the amount of resources thrown at like animal problems, like endangered animals and stuff.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I just think it's funny how much effort goes into the axolotl versus like, can you measure how important an animal is to an ecosystem?
I don't want to say yes, I'm off the hop, but I'm fairly certain they can, because I think it works on a scale of like, oh my god, what is not kill? Like, what is that concept? Kill or be killed? Like, you have
dog eat dog.
The food chain.
Oh, the circle of life.
Yeah, that took too long for me to think of.
Oh, the food chain.
But I think the food chain determines a lot of like the value of these creatures. So maybe without them, perhaps another type of creature doesn't have a food source.
Mm-hmm.
And the opposite is true. Maybe they're eating stuff that needs to be contained too. So I think that's where these things become kind of important. I know, like tigers, for example, when we were growing up, I feel like was the big talk. Tigers and polar bears. And I'm not sure what kind of conservancy efforts have been made. To be honest, like I haven't looked it up, but I feel like if axolotls are this generation's.
So I'm laughing to myself because I'm just writing notes for the show notes, and
yeah.
I wrote down endangered animals, and I was thinking you said conservancy, and I was like, it's really appropriate that you brought that up. Have you seen the Robert Irwin TikTok stuff that's going around?
No, who's Robert Irwin?
So Robert Irwin is Steve Irwin's son.
Oh, okay.
Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
Yes.
His boys all growed up, and he's running, I guess, the zoo, and he's got a big social media thing, and he's basically just carrying on his father's good work.
Yes.
And he did a very similar to when Justin Bieber did an underwear ad. Robert Irwin's done an underwear ad, and for Bonds underwear, and it's just taken off. Like everyone, you know that one TikTok song. It's like, "I will be your father's figure." It's like a thirst trap song. They're all playing that song with the photos of him, or they see him and they have that on their TikTok sound. And
have you seen these pictures?
Yeah. I mean, they're nothing crazy.
It's very thirst trappy, but like, he's got like this snake there to suggest, and
it's a skinny snake, but it's pretty long.
It also reminds me when Calvin Klein, the guy who's in The Bear,
Jeremy Allen White.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, because I think it was last summer, I want to say, or maybe last spring, that ad came out, and people were just like, "Oh my god, have you seen this ad?" And I was like, "No, I haven't," but it is so thirst trappy. Like, it is unreal.
And I find it like, it's awesome. It's just really funny.
Yeah.
The one guy, there's one Australian guy, is like, "Am I the only one who up until yesterday thought Robert Irwin was 12 years old?"
It's true. Him and his sister, is it
Bindi Sue?
Bindi. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I think they've both kind of been carrying on.
Yeah, you're right. That was he's part of a larger thing. But anyway,
big picture,
really good stuff.
Projects.
There was a video someone took of him doing one of the demos at the zoo. And something happened. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go change my undies." And then he pauses for a second. He goes, "My Bonds, of course." And then everyone watching laughed. They had a good time.
Everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah. I just wonder how much of, if I had to do a similar shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, how much they'd pay the photographer versus how much they'd pay the Photoshopper. To get similar results, you know what I mean? I feel like it would be just
depends if you're willing to hold the snake or not.
Yeah, I suppose
that's a lot more Photoshop work. What's this other creature he's holding?
Oh, let me see.
Robert Irwin. Bearded dragon? Not a bearded dragon.
Underwear. Images. Thank you. Google.
His dad would say, "Crikey."
Oh, that's a fucking goanna.
A what?
The big lizard?
Yeah, what is that?
That looks like it's some sort of monitor or goanna.
Okay.
The other lizard is his cock.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, thank you for
that was for the audience's sake. They can't see what we're looking at here.
Fair.
If you want to, just Google Robert Irwin.
Yeah, guys, get an eye full of this.
Yeah, an eye full.
And like, where is he posing? Just like on somebody's front lawn.
Oh man, he's posing with venomous snakes and lizards.
What made him most nervous about this? Yeah, maybe potentially being bitten. They're obsessed. There's like so much coverage on this. You know, there's stuff happening in Australia that like there's a trickle down effect. Like all of the wedding industry trends originate from Australia. Like they're like 2-3 years ahead. And I've heard this about hairstyle trends. Like they're ahead of us.
Yeah.
They're setting the trends.
Yeah, they're a different breed, eh?
Yeah. Truly. The outlaws.
Well, and I'm assuming Bonds is an Australian company.
I would think so, yeah. I wonder if they're being hit by tariffs.
Yeah.
And suddenly increasing local production and manufacturing.
Yeah, Bonds Australia, clothing and accessories. So yeah, it's cool. It's like he's like a local celebrity sponsor now, right?
Yeah.
Good for them.
They're probably jazzed about
and
that.
Hey,
Bonds.
Robert, honestly, if you're listening, good for you. That takes fucking courage.
It takes
to put yourself out there like that. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a one-time thing too. It's like a limited edition. It's not like an OnlyFans where you can just go every week and get new content. It's like,
yeah, this is it.
Lap it up.
Yep. Ladies and some gentlemen, I suppose.
Anyone who chooses to lap it up, Jenna. Come on, this is not that kind of show.
God, I'm so judgmental, so exclusionary.
Yeah. So for was it last week's episode? We wanted to write. No, it was episode 107. You and I had a conversation because I was just thinking about how this is the second time now we've been able to twist the conversation to make you sound
like the asshole.
Like the asshole.
I know, yeah. Isn't it nice?
Yeah, 107. We called it insurmountable odds, but we wanted to call it for a second surprise Jenna's sexist. Yes. But we decided not to because I didn't want people thinking it was. If you read it out of context, it just sounds mean.
I guess, yeah.
So I didn't want anyone
part of the show.
Yeah,
part of the show.
They'll hear it in the show because I think we talked about it. But I'd rather them.
Horcruxes of fucks was a good one.
Horcruxes of fucks. I didn't write the context for that one. I forgot about it.
Yeah, it was good. I think that's all we got to say. Also, sorry, closing mention. The Ontario website where you access like business information.
Okay.
I like log into it to update my address because I realized I haven't done this since I moved, which was a hell of a long time ago. Years ago. And I go to update my address, and it's been so long that they've updated the way that you log in. So you log in, and then I have to request a key.
Right.
And then I'm waiting. They say it takes up to 7 business days for them to email me this key. And then I finally get it. And I log in. And then actually changing my address was fine. But getting to the point where I could access the portal to request the key, oh my God, it took me a week. I was on hold multiple times. I was like, what? Why? Why is this so difficult? And it's just because I hadn't kept up with the method of logging in. And I was like, oh my God, guys. Anyways, it all worked out. I got my address updated. But what a pain in the butt.
Yeah, those GC keys are stupid. I had to call and have mine reset or something. I can't remember what it was, but I hated it.
Yeah.
Especially with AI. Everything's automated now. You can't talk to a human being.
It's true. Yeah, you have to just hope that AI hears what you're trying to say. Yeah. But I will say it's a lot better than it used to be, because it used to be just like an automated responder.
Yeah.
That would try and pick up on what it was that you were saying if you said it in the wrong tone. Like, I remember shouting into my phone. I don't remember for what, but I remember being like, no, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like so mad because I'm like, how do you not hear me? Like, I've said it's like calmly,
no more
peacefully. Yeah. And I was like, it's still not. And I'm pretty sure I hung up because I couldn't get through. And I was like, I don't know.
That's really funny.
But yeah, hopefully AI removes that from the ethers of, I don't know.
Yeah, I say operator, representative, any word I could think for human being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it happens.
Manager.
All right. Well, thank you for that. That was a good conversation. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, dude. Thanks.
And
we will catch up with everyone next time. Yeah. Toodles.